Today, we are on the second installment of the Best Practices with Pluto LMS webinar series. We're going to be discussing courses and content today. I'm JC, and thank you for joining us. So what's on the agenda? Well, we're going to chat about course creation. We're also going to chat about course administration, some of the content authoring tools on Pluto LMS, and then we're going to also have a deeper dive into the interactive content via the H5P integration. And we'll also have a Q&A session at the end. So let's jump into it. We're going to chat about course creation first. We're going to talk about creating a course, how you can create categories for your courses, as well as bulk uploading courses via CSV. So firstly, let's jump into creating a course. To create a course, firstly, you're going to hit the Create a Course button. The next thing you're going to do is be taken to this page where you can create a course full name. You can also create a course short name. You'll be able to add it to a category if you'd like, as well as either show or hide the visibility. You'll also be able to enable a start date and end date to your course if you want to. Next, you'll be able to give your course a description or a summary. This will show to any users that haven't enrolled into your courses yet. Very useful to maybe put a syllabus or details about your course in this block. You'll also have a place to upload a course image. And lastly, you have some other default options that you can choose from, such as forcing a language on a specific course. You can also have group mode in your course, as well as renaming some of the Pluto roles. The next thing that you'll be prompted to do is enroll users, but for the purpose of this webinar, we're going to proceed to course content. And like that, your course is created. We're going to jump into how to edit course material and some of the content authoring tools in a bit. Next, we're going to chat about creating course categories. Creating course categories is quite simple. To do so, you would go to Site Admin, your Courses tab, and your Manage Courses and Categories button. From there, you are able to create categories. You're also able to manage and update the categories, as well as manage the courses within the categories. You can also reorder your courses, and you can also display the or change the visibility of your courses. Whether you're working on a course maybe and you don't want it to be live to your end users, it's useful to maybe hide your courses. Next, we're going to talk about bulk uploading courses, which you can do via CSV, and all it requires is 3 columns. Your columns are going to be called full name, your short name, and your category number. So in order to get your category number, you would go back to your course Manage Courses and Categories tab, and you would click on your category, and inside your URL, it will show you the category number, which then you can go and put into your CSV. And just like that, then you will go back to the Site Admin, click on the Bulk Upload Courses button. Here you will drag your file or upload your file. You can leave your other settings as default, or optionally, this is another way to update existing courses. What you will then do is get a preview of the courses that you are uploading, as well as be able to change some of the default course values. Then you'll click on Bulk Upload Courses. It will show you that your courses have been created, and on your home page you will be able to see the courses that you've created. Awesome. Next, we're going to talk about course administration, and how to access your course settings. In order to access your course settings, you'll go to the respective course. You'll go to course admin, and in the course administration block, you'll see the edit settings button over here. Within your edit settings button, you will see the all the settings over here that we've run through already. You'll also be able to edit your course summary and description, as well as some of the other settings that we left default earlier. So that's it. That's how you can create courses on Pluto. It's very simple and easy to do. There are many ways you can edit your courses. But next we're going to talk about the content types and authoring tools. So our authoring tools that we have on Pluto, the ones in purple are the ones we're going to focus on today. The ones that aren't highlighted are activities that we're going to cover in a deeper meaning in future webinars. So our content types that we have on Pluto, we have pages, which is where you can edit text, upload images and videos. We also have, you can upload files to Pluto LMS. You can have URLs placed on your LMS platform. You can also embed or upload SCORM packages, but we're going to concentrate on H5P when we get to interactive content. We also have a quizzes tool, an assignments tool, a custom certificates tool. We also have a glossary tool, a forums tool, a surveys/feedback tool, an offline attendance tool, the reservations tool, and a journal tool. As I said, we will be running through these in future webinars. So look out for those if you'd like to cover them, if you'd like to dive into them in a little bit more detail. So our first content type that we're going to have a little bit of a look at is pages. So to add a page, you would simply go into your respective course and turn editing on, and then you can go to the add course content buttons. Once you're in the add course content section, you'll be prompted to add your activity, and from there you can go and select a page. So what is a page? A page is a way to separate information into different screens so that your end user can navigate back and forth between activity types or pages. And it's a way for you to display your course content in a form of text. You can also edit your text. You may add a link to your text, change its color, different indentations, but there's also a equation editor tool within the page editor. Your equation editing tool allows you to add operations. It allows you to add arrows as well as Greek symbols. And lastly, you can even add advanced equations into your pages. And you can see over here, this is an example of a square root. And you also get a preview at the bottom here. Next tool is a create a table tool, which you can create tables on your pages. And you can also go into HTML mode. This allows you to embed certain things, and I'll definitely show you an application of HTML mode in a moment. You can also attach images to your pages. You can upload your images, change the size and dimension of your images. You can also upload video. You can upload video directly to the system, but you can also embed video from other sources such as YouTube and Vimeo, and it will give you display options, options to add subtitles to, and various advanced settings. If you want to, you can also add an audio clip using this tool. If you want to record a direct audio recording, you can do that via the recording audio tool, and you can record up to 2 minutes. You can also record a video up to 2 minutes if you want to insert that into your page. And of course, you can insert all of these things into your page and have it full of content. Next thing we're going to take a look at is adding files. To add a file, very similar to a page, you would go to edit course content and then add course content and add a file. For your file, you can name it. You can also drag or upload your file into the box over there. And you're welcome to change its appearance. You can embed things. You can also have your file pop up in a new window or force it to download. Be wary, this does only apply to PDFs in terms of embedding. You can add Word documents and Excel documents too, but there is another way of displaying them within your, you would use a page and embed it via the HTML code, which I will explain in a moment. Because what you can also do with this is embed presentations. Very useful tool is to, if you would like to embed presentations, is to go to the presentation and get the embed code. Once you have got the embed code, you can go back onto a page, back onto the HTML file, and you can paste it within the page content space. And your presentation will embed onto Pluto and looks something similar to what you can see now. Awesome. Next thing we're going to chat about is your URLs and how to add that to the system. Similarly, you can go to add course content and select the URL file type. You can also change the name of your URL. You can paste it and give a description. And you can also change whether or not you would like to embed or have it as a pop-up. Please note that the embed option with other types of websites or third-party websites depends on the privacy options of that third party and whether or not it will embed onto Pluto. The next thing we're going to have a look at is interactive content. While we are SCORM compliable and you can upload SCORM packages to Pluto, we're going to rather take a deeper dive into the H5P integration, which does come free with all of your Pluto plans. And yeah, doesn't require any extra licensing fees. The types of content I have selected for the presentation are the interactive video, the interactive presentation, and the branching scenario. And to add the interactive content, I'm going to show you on the platform itself. You may see this is the new course we created earlier. To add interactive content, I would go to Edit Course Material. Now that I'm in editing mode, I can go to Add Course Content and scroll down and find interactive content, which will be our H5P, and I can click Add. What you'll notice is you can give it a description. If I scroll down quickly, you can also give it a grade. These are default settings that come with all activity types, and these will be covered in a later webinar, namely your conditional activity restrictions and how to set up activity completion. They'll be in a further episode. But here we have our content editor, and these are the plus 40 types that you can create within your Pluto, within Pluto. And these are all interactive content types. I'm just going to quickly scroll down so you can have a look at all the different types of content there are. There are things like your iframe embedder. You can find multiple hotspots. You can also create a summary, and all the way down to a Twitter user feed, which you can also add. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to hop on over to the interactive video and show you what that looks like. So your interactive video, what you can do is click on this button and it will prompt you to either upload a video, or you can paste a video from directly from YouTube. Then you'll go ahead and insert that. Once that's inserted, you can go to add interactions, and you'll see that your YouTube video has popped up over here. Then what you can do is you can go ahead and add different interactions, and what you can do is go and drag these interactions to place them on your video, which I'll give you a demonstration of in a second. But as you can see, you can add labels, text, a table, you can add links, you can add an image, you can add a statement, and you can also add interactive things like a single choice set, a multiple choice question, a true and false question. We have a fill in the blanks type of game, a drag and drop, a mark the words, drag text. This crossroads function is quite interesting. What it allows you to do is once a user gets to a certain point of the video, it allows you to ask a question and it will direct you to or the end user, depending on their answer, to a different type of the video or the different point of the video. We have navigation hotspot. If I open here, you can add a questionnaire, and you can even go as far as adding a free text question. What's really useful about all of these, if I, for instance, went to multiple choice and I clicked on it, you'll be asked to, you can have different ways of displaying your interactive multiple choice quiz. You can add a label to it. And over here, you can add your questions and your different available options as answers. You can even go further than that and ask and have tips and feedback depending on the answers of the end user. I quickly went back and deleted that. Yes. I'll end up back on my video, and you can add multiple prompts all along the video. And what you can also do is set behavioral settings. You can set a behavioral setting per prompt, but you can also set behavioral settings for your overall video, namely this prevent skipping forward in a video option, which is extremely useful. And that is your interactive video. One thing I didn't mention is on your prompts, if you want your end user to answer a question and say the end user gets it wrong, you can set it up so that the behavioral setting is that that user has to re-watch the video in order to continue past that point and get the question correct. So that's it for my interactive videos. I'm going to go and show you the interactive course presentation. So your interactive course presentation is very similar to a PowerPoint or Google Slides, except a little bit more powerful in the fact that you can add interactive content onto your presentation. You can add things as images and videos, but you can go a step further and add fill in the blanks, your single choice set, multiple choice questions, and so forth. What you can also add is other types of interactive content, such as you can add a table, but you can also add an interactive video into your presentation, even go as far as adding a Twitter feed. Your presentation works quite similarly to the interactive video. where you can set behavioral settings depending on what type of content you want to create. Once again, you can also set a grade to it if you would like. And that is the interactive course presentation. Lastly, I would like to jump onto the branching scenario. Your branching scenario is quite interesting. You can create a sort of mini learning path for your end user to enjoy. And the way it works is I can add a piece of content to the middle. Maybe let's make it a piece of text. Say this was just a blanket statement of some sort. We're just going to rename it statement, give it some text, and we're going to add it. You can add some advanced branching options, but I'll cover that in a second. So we've added a piece of text. Now what I can do is add a branching question. So my question, or the question could be, what do you make of the statement? And your answer could be A or B. Now the end user, depending on what they have answered, you can go and create different options for them. So for this, for answer number 1, maybe you want to display an image. You can go ahead and do that. Maybe for answer B, you want to send a video to that or make that person watch a video. You can go ahead and do that. And each time you add an activity, it gives you different settings based on that activity, as well as advanced branching options, such as circling back to previous branches. You can also add as many branching questions as you'd like. So it can get quite in depth, and there's lots of different types of things you can do. Once again, you can also add an interactive video within your branching scenario, and yeah, you'll be taken back to the screen which we have seen before. So that concludes my presentation on courses and content. I'm going to open the floor to Q&A. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll more than happily answer them. Thanks, Carl. No problem. On my first question, can you prevent file download? Yes, you can prevent file. While Pluto LMS doesn't have a native way to prevent download, you can use a third-party tool such as Google Drive, where you can share the embed code, and the students will then be able to view your files without downloading them. So yes. Can you show me an embedded video? Of course I can. To do that, I'm going to go to a different course over here that's already been set up. And what I will show you is a simple video that's been uploaded from YouTube. You can see over here, it's embedded into the platform. You can add text around it or different images if you want to. You can also resize the video. Next question is, can you copy interactive content to another source, or will I need to create it again? That's an excellent question. The answer is yes. So if I wanted to, say I had created this interactive video and I wanted to paste it into an interactive presentation, I can indeed copy it and it will allow me to then go and paste into my presentation that interactive video. So you won't necessarily need to create it again. Next question is there a way for me to duplicate courses? Yes, there is. If I had this course created, I would then be able to, and I wanted to pull course content from a already created course, what I would be able to do is create a new course, as I showed you earlier, click on course admin. From there, I can click on the import option and I can pull different activities or the entire course workload from a different course. So yes, there is an option to duplicate courses or pull certain content pieces from another course. The next question, is it simple to add SCORM packages? Yes, it is very simple. In order to do that, I would pop back out to home, go to the necessary course that I would like to upload my SCORM package. Very similarly to adding a page, a file, a URL, or your interactive content, I would need to be in editing mode. I would click on add course content. And from there, I can click on the SCORM file package, add it, and it will prompt me to upload my SCORM file. And it will simply be ready and to display and nicely embedded into your Pluto platform. Great question. Next one is, how do I reorder course material? So it is quite quick and easy to do. If you are you just need to ensure that you are in editing mode. And from there, similarly to the topics, you can drag and drop the course content to where you please and reorder it. Can I restrict access to content? Excellent question. So yes, you can restrict access to content via our conditional activity restrictions. We will be covering this in a later webinar episode and go into more depth on the different types of restrictions that you can set on your content. But the simple answer is yes, you can drip content to your students or end users so that they see based on the type of restrictions that you want to set. Next question. I sometimes have issues embedding Microsoft Online PowerPoints and it doesn't show on the LMS. There's a simple fix to this. If you go into your Microsoft Online PowerPoint, please make sure to check if the privacy options are set to public or private. They will need to be set to public in order for it to embed and show onto your LMS. Would the same apply to Google Slides? Yes, it would. You would need to make sure that the content is set to public in order for it to embed nicely onto your Pluto site. Next question is, what is the best way for me to upload videos without it being shareable or downloadable? Excellent question. So in order to do that, my suggestion would be to upload it via Vimeo because they are domain specific. And if your videos are private on Vimeo, they will only be able to be viewed via your Pluto LMS platform. So that is what I would recommend in terms of keeping your videos extremely private and unable to be downloaded. Can you scroll through various types of content again, as well as for H5P? Yes, of course. So if I were to click on add course content over here, these are all the different types of content that you can create on the Pluto LMS on your Pluto LMS using the editor. As I said earlier in the presentation, we will be covering these in more depth in future episodes, but we do have the assignment feature, your attendance feature, your various video integrations, your custom certificate. We also have an external tool, your survey feature. We've got your forum feature, your glossary tool, your interactive content. Also got your journal tool, your quiz tool or reservations tool, wait for SCORM package, and also your files, pages, and URLs. We also have a way that you can add things to folders, which is a useful tool too. Then with H5P, I would need to go to interactive content. And what I'll do is quickly scroll through the list once again so you can get a good picture of what's available. As I said earlier, there are over 40 content types that you can choose from. And what's very useful about this editor is if you want to go and have a look at a certain content type, you can click on details. For example, if I went to this audio section and I clicked on details, and it will give you different types of information on the certain content type, as well as different examples, which are quite useful. So these are all the different types of content that you can create within this tool, which is great because it's a very interactive way of learning, and it certainly beats the traditional forms of your normal simple quiz. If I add a quiz or assignment, does this automatically add to the gradebook, or must I set this up separately? Excellent question. So quizzes and assignments have a mark attached to them by default by the system, and they will automatically show up into your gradebook. So there will be no need to automatically add, no need for you to manually go into your gradebook and add each activity type. If the activity type comes with a mark attached to it or is gradable in a certain way, it will automatically add to the gradebook. Cool, we have a question that says, can you give us an example of a completed SCORM package, and can you also show us what a completed H5P activity type looks like? Yes, sure, I can do that. In order to do so, I'm going to click home and jump out, and then I'm going to click on the SCORM and H5P course that's being created under the sample courses category. First, I'm going to show you a SCORM example. What I would do is click on my SCORM package, and to access it, I would click the enter button over here. And once this loads, you will see your SCORM package embedded into the platform with all the interactions you have created. And as you go down, you will see the different types of activities you've embedded. You have a little progress bar on the left-hand side here, and you can design it so that there's also a completion bar over there. So this is what an example of a SCORM package would look like. I'm going to jump back out to the course home page, and next I'm going to show you what an example of H5P looks like. This instance is an interactive book. This is the cover page over here. If I click on read, you can see all the different types of interactions that you can add onto your book, such as a little multiple choice quiz over here. We have a type of drag and drop activity over here. and you can click left and right and go through the pages and do the activities. Next, what I would like to show you is give you a small example of what the interactive video looks like. It does start where I left off last time, which was at the end, so I'm going to drag it to the beginning. You can see that there is a prompt here to look at the ingredients list. The behavioral setting that the person who created this chose was to pause the video over here. Of course, you can also add it so that the person wouldn't be able to skip ahead necessarily. You can also have a multiple choice quiz. That's a strawberry. And as you go on, you can add all the different interactions. What's nice is right at the end, it gives you a summary of the questions that you, or the activities that you did within the video. And you can even cap it off with a end of video question. And that question could define whether or not they continue off into the course. All depends how you would like to set up those behavioral settings, and the options are truly unlimited. Awesome. I think that is all the questions for today's episode. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now. It's been a pleasure. I really thank you for all listening, and stay tuned for our next episode